Good afternoon. Um, this afternoon, I'd just like to share just a little bit of my story, the story of my life, the authentic story of my life. I'm sharing this as a source of inspiration to women, hurting women, women that have been abused in many ways. Some people may think abuse is just physical or sexual abuse. No, there are many kind of abuse: financial abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, different kind of abuse. Well, I was abused from childhood up into adulthood, and I've been through a lot of traumas. I've survived them now, so I'm healing. So this is a source of inspiration to the women, to the aunts, to the grandmas, to the nieces, to the daughters that are going through circumstances that they're feeling that they have no hope. They have no one to turn to. They're not, they don't have values. I am a survivor of abuse, and I'm here to tell you, you're not alone. Childhood abuse. I would say I was a real life Cinderella. The cleaning girl, the girl that does the errands, the girl that didn't get an opportunity to go to school when sometimes other kids go to school, the girl that get whipped just because she doesn't maybe say yes ma'am, no sir, or doesn't move as quickly as she should be as a child. The one that got beaten up many times. Back in the days, I don't know if our caretakers knew what abuse was, or is that they didn't care because you were not theirs. You were just an object. I'm not sure. But back in those days, abuse was real. We just didn't know how to deal with it. So other people, children, suffer and suffer gravely. I was one of them that suffered at the hand of abusers. I survived it. I was one of them that suffered at attempted rape. I survived. I was beaten up many times. I survived. I survived 2 marriages. Infidelity, emotional, mental abuse, financial abuse. You feel and you think that you're not good enough. Narcissistic abuse. Oh, it's my way or it's no way. I survived. Emotional abuse. It gotten so bad at some point. Attempted suicide on more than one occasion. But I survived. Self-esteem, low self-esteem because of the way you're treated. But I survived. There was one solution to my survival, and it was my faith in God. I trust in God. He delivered me. Yeah. I ended up divorced. My first husband, yes, we got divorced. infidelity, adultery. None of this was on my part. Of course, I'm not perfect. I'm not 100%. But I can tell you this. I was a faithful wife. I'm blessed with 3 beautiful children from that marriage. God's mercy kept me, and I wouldn't let go. I'm here today because God kept me. I survived. I married again. Different circumstances. Emotional abuse, mental abuse, financial abuse. God kept me again. Ladies, be mindful of the people that you marry. Make sure they're sent by God. Don't choose because of selfishness. Be mindful of who you let into your life. Now, I'm just trying to share this afternoon because I've seen so many hurting women. They just want to give up on life. They just want to give up on themselves. They lost hope. I personally had a few ladies that confided in me. It was just this week, during the week sometime, I had one person confided in me. Life has no meaning anymore. I just feel like giving up. No, you can't. You can't give up. You have to trust God to deliver you through your circumstances. You have to trust God because He's faithful and just to deliver you. He said He will. If He did it for me, He will do it for you. There was a point in time in my life when I thought, this was it. Life has no meaning. I don't want to live no more. Because when you've done your best, it seems like your best isn't good enough. And yes, there were a few suicide thoughts. Attempted. But guess what? I'm not supposed to leave the hurt that way. Because on none of those occasions, God would allow that. He intercepted. And He said, Karen, get a hold of yourself. You have so much to live for. You are beautiful. You are fearfully and wonderfully made in the likeness and image of God. Woman, to the woman right now who think you can't make it, who feel like, I just want to give up. Listen, if you're in a relationship, abusive relationship, whether it's infidelity, whether it's emotional, mental, physical, financial, because we do have that, it's best to walk away. Don't stay in an unstable relationship that is so toxic. that gets you sick. There was a point in my relationship, a past relationship, that it got so toxic, I literally get physically sick. Sick almost unto death. I had to put a stop to that. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be here today. So please, get up and walk away. There are some things that, one might say, you can't walk away like that. No. Life is precious. Life is beautiful. Life is a blessing. I got sick. I had ambulances after ambulances picking me up from home, from work, to the hospital. So many hospital visits. Stress. I kept these things inside to protect the image of others while I was dying. It's time for you to think about yourself. Think about yourself now. You've thought about others for way too long. You gotta get up, shake yourself, and says, no, I have to live. There is life. There is hope. There is hope. Don't give up. I realize that I have to start living for me and not others. It took a heart surgery, an emergency heart surgery, for me to get a grip and realize, girl, get up. Get up. Yes, I had an emergency surgery caused by stressors around me. Stressors that I wasn't talking about. Things that was happening to me emotionally, mentally, that I wasn't talking about. And it's starting to affect me physically. It's starting to affect my health. I went to the hospital to do a 10 minutes procedure. Turns out, 2 hours later, a major heart surgery. My arteries were blocked. My major arteries were blocked. Stressors. I survived. I didn't go to do a heart surgery. I didn't have a scheduled appointment for that. But when I went to the hospital and they checked me, I had to do a 2-hour emergency heart surgery. Cause stressors, toxic situations occurring in my life. I had to wake up. Girl, you have to live and not die. There's so many things for you to live for. Change your situation, change your circumstances. To the woman that is listening right now, get up. Take a look at yourself. Think about you. Think about you. Live for you. God has a plan, and He has a purpose for your life. Yes. Walk away from toxic relationship. Walk away from things that is causing you stressors. You will get sick. You will die. pray about it. Seek God in the process. You know, I went through all this, and I wanted to share my story in a book. And yes, I wrote a book, and the book is called Soul of a Broken Woman. It is available on Amazon. Soul of a Broken Woman. This is my book. I've written this book. It was published in 2020, December 2020. I've written this book. It was during the pandemic that I wrote the book. And it was also through one of the toughest times in my life. And I shared my story in this book from childhood up into adulthood. Now, this is just one of my books. I do intend to publish other books that are in the process. And for that woman that is going through something, you feel like there's no hope and you have no one to turn to. You have no one to talk to. You do have someone. Talk to the Lord. Call out to Jesus. Say, God, I need you. Because some of the very people that you surround yourself with, that you think they're your friends, some of the very people that are families, it is some of those people that cause you much more pain than you can ever imagine. But when you call on the name of Jesus, when you said, Lord, I surrender all to you. Lord, I need your help. I can't do this anymore. Lord, I'm not ready to die. Life is precious. Life is beautiful. Help me. Heal me. Deliver me from people. Deliver me from myself. Oh God, deliver me from toxic relationship. Believe me, God will. He will come true for you. He has come true for me. He will heal your brokenness. So this book is a source of courage, a source of inspiration to women. I have overcome my brokenness. Believe me. I've overcome my brokenness. I'm not the girl I used to be. I'm not that broken woman that I used to be. No. Life is beautiful. You have value. You have worth. You are precious. You are fearfully and you are wonderfully made in the likeness and image of God. Get up. Shake yourself. You can make it. You can make it. Starting over again is not a crime. Starting over again from the bottom is beautiful. It's a new sprout. Have you ever seen when you prune like a croton, like a flower, and it's starting to bud again? That's what I feel like. Because I've released the toxic out of my life. I've released things out of my life that's has no much, it's not worth anything for me. It's just tear me down. It doesn't make me better. When you trust in the Lord with your whole heart, and when you lean not to your own understanding, believe me when I tell you, God will see you through. I don't look like nothing that I've been through. There were days I couldn't even walk from the front door to the kitchen. I can't breathe. I was dying. Dying and not even knowing it. It took an emergency. It took a few paramedics with an ambulance. Stress is a deadly thing. Please release yourself from toxic circumstances. Release yourself. Pick up the pieces. Move on. Don't stay in it. Let me tell you, I looked at some pictures of me, of my yesterday, and I look at some pictures of me today. I'm 51 years old. I looked at some pictures of myself when I was 35, 40. I almost looked like 60. And I'm thinking, wow, Jesus made a difference in my life. And let me tell you, you see, today, I don't know why Jesus loved me. I don't know why he cares. And I don't know why he sacrificed his life. But I'm so glad that he did. Because I'm here today. For me to live is Christ, to die is gain. My whole desire is just to trust in God. Just to live for him. Forget my yesterday. Forget the things of the past. And live my life for God. If it is God's will for my life, matter of fact, anything, every and any decisions, future decisions in my life is centered. God has to be the center of it. I will not make a decision without putting God first and foremost in my life. So if you're thinking, if you're hurting, if you feel like, people are going to laugh, forget about what people think. People are going to think. Don't allow what people think dictate your future or your tomorrow. Live your life for God. Don't be surrounded with toxic people. Stay away from narcissistic people. They just controlling. You don't want people overwhelm your life. You want to live free for God. Now, if you need, like I said, if you need to know more about me, there's the book. It's called Soul of a Broken Woman. It's a very inspirational book. An abused woman who survived and living a God-fearing life. She raised above the shadows. I'm delivered. God deliver me. Get your copy of this book. It's on Amazon. It's called Soul of a Broken Woman. There are other books. The chapters in this book is basically a book in itself. And those books will come. I hope you're inspired. I hope you find hope. I hope you find the strength that you need to rise above your shadows. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. God has not forsaken you. He's not turned his back on you. and He will deliver you. He will deliver you. God will see you through. I hope you're inspired. And I do hope that my story, well, it's a partial story, some of my story that I've told you, that you will find the courage and the will to go on. Don't give up. I recovered from heart surgery. I recovered from two very different but abusive in its own way marriages. I raised my children well as a single mother, and God has blessed me, and He's blessing me, and no weapon that is formed against me shall prosper. Nothing that stands in my way shall prosper, because God is my everything. He's my all in all. I'm a survivor. I'm a winner. I am a warrior for Christ. For me to live is Christ. To die is gain. And I'm grateful today because God favored me. Thank you for watching, and have a blessed afternoon.